Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally here. It's peak. Everyone's cheering. I'm just kidding. Everyone is. I have the absolute 50-50. We have the one side with the torches and pitchforks saying, "BANLIST bad. You didn't hit this, you didn't hit that." The other side is, "Finally! One of the most problematic cards is banned," and all that. And of course, we are in this lasting cycle of the Yu-Gi-Oh community not being entirely satisfied. Besides that, the ban list is finally here, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna go run it down. This is a semi-live reaction. I was not home at the time. I did not have access to any sort of social media by the time the ban list drops, and so of course I am reading it as we speak right now. So first and foremost, Forbidden, Fiendsmith Lacrima, Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess, Hot Red Dragon, Archfiend King Calamity, and Beatrice, Lady Eternal. I can already tell you two of them, they deserve to be banned. One of them makes sense, and the other one was coming and all that. First and foremost, Appaloosa was coming. The idea that back in April when they banned both Baron and Borrowed Savage Dragon, reducing the amount of generic negates and all that, it was eventually Appaloosa's time to go and all that, and it was just a matter of time of when. And of course, here it is, right? Any deck competent enough to make enough linked material to make a 4-mat or 3-mat Appaloosa, right? Blanking 3 card effects and all that, right, is just disgusting, right? Of course, it's gonna hurt the lower tier decks and all that, of course, but fortunately, if your deck can't compete with Appaloosa, it probably can't compete regardless, right? Next up, Hot Red Dragon, Archfiend King Calamity. No one likes turn skips. Everyone hates it. This probably hurts Centurion the most. Of course, there's a few white force builds and all that, right? But any deck that can cover up King Calamity and all that, right, pretty much gets hurt by this the most, right? But thank good riddance, this guy is banned. Next up, Lady Beatrice, Lady the Eternal. You had it coming. You had it coming. No one likes you to dump 2 cards to either continue to a full combo or do a stupid FTK with Earthbound Release and all that jazz, right? Thank goodness you're banned. You should have stayed banned, by the way. And then we got Fiendsmith Lacrima. This is probably one of the interesting bans on all that. This was an extender when you're doing your full Fiendsmith combo, right? To get back Engraver from there and all that, right? To either make a rank 6 and all that, right? Like Beatrice, High King Wave Caesar, sometimes Constellar Ptolemy, M7, right? To help with the grind game and all that. But now Lacrima's banned, and of course now we are down 1 level 6 and all that for those decks. However, in the TCG, it doesn't matter too much in a sense. We do have 2 TCG exclusive fusion monsters with Necroquip Princess, right? And Aerial Eater, which Aerial Eater just needs 2 fiends with the same type and attribute, I believe. And Necroquip is a contact fusion, 1 monster on the field and a monster that's equipped to it and all that, right? So a Fiendsmith Engraver on the field that has a Requiem equipped for it, you can just cheat that out from there and all that. But also a very toxic time card. It just does 12,000 for no reason, you know. Excellent, still great hits right here and all that. I still wish that we got at least a Flamberge ban or maybe Oak mate and all that, right? To at least lower more of the Snake Eye stuff, right? Next up, the limit. Ooh! Eva, Snake Eye Ash, Snake Eye is popular, number 40 and number C40, strings and dark strings respectively. Branded Fusions, Opening of the Spirit Gates, Pot of Prosperity, Sanguine Symphony, That Grass Looks Greener, and Skill Drain. Let's go from the bottom to the top. I don't care about the Java update. Okay, bottom from the top, Skill Drain, unfair. Floodgate, right? It blinks both boards, but with Snake Eyes shenanigans, right? When you get him on the crackback, you can just send that Skill Drain and then summon it to your Bellstar, right? It's unfair and all that. That interaction should not happen, personally. Next up, Grass Looks Greener. This is probably the most controversial one, right? Because now this opens the idea that decks can now play 60 cards with 1 grass, right? I think that's reasonable because it gives you that mentality is like, I'm going to activate this grass, pray that they don't have Ash or anything, right? fucking we ball. Just send however many from 60 down to 35 and all that, right? Or 55 to 35. 20 cards, right? Just pray you hit some good stuff and all that. Of course, there are the upsides and the downsides, but I don't think you'll see that much consistent play to warrant everyone running 60 cards to blank the grass and all that, right? If you're also on the grass, but that's just me and all that. Sangan Company Tempai hit. OCG did this as well. It's still over there the best deck because it can run the 18 to 21 hand traps, but I do think this is the correct hit for Tempai being able to OTK just without an ease and all that. Prosperity just limits consistency for all decks, any decks that can run it right. Opening of the Spirit Gates. This is the Ubel hit in a sense, right? It is still really good because even if you're running just one opening Spirit Gates, you still get the extra normal off of Dark Beckoning Beast and the search off of Nightmare Throne, right? Right, getting any fiend with 0 attack and defense. Of course, you want to prioritize the Lotus, but that's just how it is. Branded Fusion, I think Sanctifire should have been hit instead to be banned instead of Branded Fusion, but branded hitting consistency and branded when they have a multiple of other fusion effects, I think that's fine. Number 40 and number C40, Strings and Dark Strings. Gimmick Purple has a very consistent FTK and all that, right? And because of this, they have to nerf how easy it is to do it. It is still possible, but now you have to work the combo around where you can only use the 1 strings and Dark Strings. Of course, you probably want to run more Giant Grinder and Giant Hunter. I believe number 15 and C15. I believe those are the numbers, right? Because those have soft once per turn burn effects. And all that. Snake Eye Ash, Snake Eye Poplar had it coming. We have been tired of this format, of course. So I think this is the hit in the OCG where they have 1 Ash. They still have 3 Poplar though, but now I think Snake Eye decks just puts more into just more non-engine, right? Of course, it's gonna be harder for them to get to the Snake Eye stuff unless they hard draw it. Of course, we still have 3 Bonfire. I think Snake Eye still might be the best deck, but who knows, right? And then Eva, Eva's fine. I think Eva's fine at 1, right? There's not a whole lot of fairy decks because we still have 1 Herald of the Orange Light. So the only decks that really could just use this would be Voiceless Voice, maybe, right? Getting a Diviner as well, but that's probably it. I think that's fine. I know they're coming back to 1. Whoa, no DraftKings though. Alright, semi-limited. Whoo, here comes the Dragon Rulers. I was right. They could come back to 2. And they came back to 2. Both Blaster, Redux, Tempest, and Tidal. Excellent. Let's see here. Lunalite Tiger. I think it can come back. It doesn't have any once per turns on its effects. So back then it was enabled with a bunch of just long stupid combo decks to either Afterthought or FTK, whatever, right? It can come back. The game has progressed to a point where the Tiger resolving doesn't really impact the game too much, and all that, in all honesty. Thunder Giant Colossus the 2 on all that, with the amount of searching decks, of course, right? Joel's still running around rampant. Yeah, Colossus kind of makes sense and all that. It's not 2019 anymore, right? And then the World Josh Justicar, same deal. It's not 2018, was it? Where this was abused. Essentially, it's just it can come back. It's not gonna impact much and all that with how limited deck space are, right? Because you still have to fit in a random tuner and Ib and all that, right, to do whatever you need with that combo. These are all these are fine. I mean, you could probably put the Dragon Rulers to 3 and they probably still won't see too much play, right? Maybe in some cash builds or because Tempest is a lot Wind Dragon and the Arm Dragon stuff, but it's Arm Dragons, right? They can't really do much. And then Unlimited Time Seal. Alright. Denglong, Fairy Dragon, Plush Fire, yup, that has the errata. Magic Spectre Kieran, yup, that's fine. Red Rose Dragon. that was abused with something. I don't remember. An Armageddon Knight. Yeah, I think these are mostly fine. The time seal is just the weird one out. Skip the draw phase of your opponent's next turn, right? It probably will get abused some way, somehow. Labyrinth, right? Denglong's fine and all that, right? Ancient Fairy Dragon's fine. Plush Fire with the errata's fine. Kieran, the game has progressed to where Kieran can't solo decks by itself anymore. That's fine. Red Rose Dragon, it's alright. Like, it's in the same boat with the Dragon Rules. Like, it probably won't be. It's probably just because of the casualty of being a Hockey Firebrax card. Is Hockey Firebrax? Is it just a level 2 tuner, or is it just any tuner? Let me check. Hockey Firebrax. Level 3 or 2. Yeah. Well, this probably was just one of the Hockey Firebrax hits and all that. And Armageddon Knight, Sing in the Dark and all that, right? Not a once per turn. I think it's fine because you were using this in some of his old stuff, right? And his old got banned, so you really don't see it now, right? And what dark decks can really abuse Armageddon Knight with 3 of them, right? And can constantly send darks to the graveyard and all that, right? I mean, there's probably some stupid summoner monk, like Treasure Panda stuff, but that's besides the point. Overall, I think the list is fine. I mean, everyone here is just like hip hip hooray. It's like why branded fusion. Like, I think this list is fine. It's not perfect per se because not everyone's going to be satisfied. You can't satisfy this community that's always going to be at ends with the company itself, right? I think the list is fine. Overall, I could give it like a 6 out of 7, 6, 7 out of 10, right? It addressed the elephants in the room, right? Appaloosa, King Calamity, obviously, Beatrice, the Snake Eye stuff, the Gimmick Puppet stuff, the Yubel. I think the meta deck that got hit the least, in a sense, was Yubel. Now, pure Yubel or like a more Unchained version would be fine, right? Tenpai got hit, and of course Prosperity got hit as well. That also is somewhat of a hit to Tenpai because Tenpai can still OTK under Prosperity when it halves all damage for the turn. Wild. The Dragon Ruler stuff is fine. Look, Thunder Dragon's got 2 Colossus now. Hooray! All this is fine. Again, the Dragon Rulers can come back to 3. They probably won't have the biggest impact in the meta because you're going to minus yourself so much off from the hand effects and such. You have to constantly dump dragons, and even if you can find a way to abuse them and all that, right? A lot of dragon decks now are light and dark, and you have fire, earth, wind, and water. So it's gonna be hard. And of course, the unlimits, the big ones here probably is Kieran. I mean, hey, 3 Kieran's pretty good. Plush Fire, right? Of course, Plush Fire gets unbanned because the Animation Chronicle announced new Perform Mages, right? And of course, this is the sense that, hey, we gotta give Perform Mages more stuff, right? And here it is. It gets Plush Fire back, right? And all that, right? I think even with that deck, I think the Perform Mage deck is nice. It's fine. Just the main problem with it is it going to be put in with the Pendulum slop, right? With all the Pendulum Magicians, Odd Eyes, whatever that stuff, or can it perform well on its own? I think it can perform well on its own. Rogue at best, it may be like a tier 3 strategy, right? Because it can get out lots of easy rank 4s and 5s. Ancient Fairy Dragon with the Radas, right? It's fine. Danglong, it's fine, right? Time Seal, this is like the kind of band, but yeah, other than that, great job, Konami, on all that. I know you've gotten a lot of scrutiny for the past week because of a certain horse, but again, I do at least appreciate you guys toughing it out for at least giving us the ban list because, hey, and all that, right? I'm glad that at least we get some communication that, hey, we get the ban list, or if we didn't even get the communication about us getting a ban list, it probably just would have came after Worlds, right? But that Worlds even had its own ban list, so. But I am glad that they address some of the elephants in the room and all that. I just my final thoughts is that I still think Snake Eyes might be the best deck now. They're going to fill the 2 Ash and the 2 Poplar, right, with 4 more hand traps, right, and all that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and listening to the app. See you guys then.